Hello, Boxing World. Welcome to Boxing Block Center. Jarrell Big Baby Miller has stated that he got offered a chump change to fight Anthony Joshua in June by Mr. Head of Metro Boxing. He said that, well, the amount is not enough, that they are $500,000 away to accepting the offer, and that he's going to beat up Joshua. I mean, his promoter came out and said this, Well, Jeremy himself went to Instagram, went on Instagram and Twitter. This guy has a very huge mouth. He talks a lot, and definitely sometimes he backs it up. But most of the time, people are not really believing it because they have not seen him step up yet. They want to see him step up first. But Joshua is now running out of opponents to fight. Wilder don't want to smoke with Joshua. Tyson Fury wanted, but he only wants to fight Joshua when he gets a 50% pulse plate. Dillian Whyte is being greedy, pressing himself out, saying that he deserves more and stuff like that. Dillian Whyte has no belt. He has never been a world champion. I mean, his resume is not as stacked as Joshua's resume. Although he has a better resume than Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder is a loudmouth American guy who has more balls in America because he's been backed by him and Chile Finco. He has used Joshua's name to hype up himself, promoters profile, and now he's getting a lot of love from American fans. But also, some American fans are not really happy with Wilder's behavior because they are now starting to see that Wilder wants no smoke with AJ because they know Wilder isn't really ready for AJ yet. But you might say, why not? He has 40 fights or something. Well, it's not about that. It's about, his career coming to an end if he loses to AJ. Because if you look at all what he said about Anthony Joshua and all those stuff he said, if at the end of the day Deontay Wilder gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua, his career will be over. That's the reason why Deontay Wilder is avoiding Joshua at all costs. He don't want no smoke with Joshua right now. Maybe at some point he will definitely step up, but right now he is not trying to make a fight happen with Joshua. He just want to keep, living on the hype, believing the hype. And maybe fighting Tyson Fury will be a very good fight. I heard the rematch will be announced soon, which would be a very good fight anyway. I want to see that fight as well again. But I will be rooting for Tyson Fury to win that fight. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Tyson Fury, but I'll be rooting for him to win that fight because Wilder has played the boxing fans. I like Wilder as a person, I like him, but as a fighter, I don't like his manner and his cockiness and his, I don't know how to say, maybe his pride. Every fighter has pride, but his pride is just too much. He talks about wanting AJ and another day he doesn't want him. And he just uses his name to grow his profile. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's move on. So Jeremy Miller is likely to be the next opponent Joshua will be facing. But we don't know yet because a lot of people are just trying to shut Joshua out. They are trying to really just shut Joshua out. They're just so envious of this guy that they don't want to see him prosper. They don't want to see him create his own legacy. And this is what happens when you have a guy like Heyman who protects his fighters. It's the truth. It's just the truth. You might think I'm lying. You might think I'm just being biased. It's just the truth. Look at all his fighters who are champions. He doesn't want to see them fight in another platform. I mean, his fighters that he has already invested in. I'm not talking about guys like Daniel Jacobs, no. Just looking at water, for example, Heyman, Shelefinko, they have invested a lot of money on this guy, and also they have protected him right from day one. So if Deontay Wilder loses, then it's going to be a huge blow for Heyman and Shelefinko. That's why they're not going to let him out. That's why they're not trying to answer any email from Joshua's team. That's why they are trying to, block Joshua's path to water. It will only last for maybe a short term, At some point, the fans will get tired of water, and they will definitely want to see Joshua fight. And if he gets beat by Tyson Fury, it will definitely be over. Joshua will then say, well, I wanted you to fight me that time, you didn't want it, and I'm going for Fury. Because Joshua wants nothing other than the belt. He wants to become the undisputed heavyweight king. And to do that, he has to get the WBC belt from water. So whoever has that WBC belt in the future, Joshua will go for that before taking on fighting anyone else. So it's just kind of frustrating to see how things are playing out. But I will do another video for that. I want to really go hard on some people that call themselves fighters. But when it comes to proving us wrong, they don't. Because when we criticize them, they say, well, you are too bad, you talk shit about us. But when we tell them, okay, prove us wrong now, they don't want to prove us wrong because they know that they can't prove us wrong. They know what we say is truth. They know what we say is the real deal. So, Jarrell Miller saying that, well, he's going to fight Joshua and he wants a Joshua fight. Jarrell Miller is not being too cocky because he knows that, he has nothing to lose and he has everything to gain. Jarrell Miller doesn't really have that huge hype like Wilder has. So if he manages to beat Joshua, then he will then become the main man in the division. So he really does not have anything to lose. So I don't know. Millions is millions, like Soulja Boy says. Millions is millions. So Jarrell Miller has never ended up to 1 million per fight before. I think so. He hasn't. Or maybe I'm wrong. You guys can go do your research. So if you're getting maybe, for example, a 3 to 2 million offer from AJ, I think it's cool. You're fighting for 4 belts, and a chance to become the main man in the heavyweight division, to become the number one in heavyweight division. You might say, well, Fury is the number one, Wilder's the number one, but who has more belts? It's Joshua, so he's number one. So no matter what your opinion is, or what your opinion may be, Joshua is number one heavyweight in the world, and the belts are there to prove it. His record alone can prove it. He's fought tough opponents, okay? So, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to see this Miller fight? Are you guys really clamoring to see this Miller fight? In my opinion, I'm kind of very, exhausted of talking about this whole saga again, because I feel like these guys don't want to fight Joshua. They just want the money. And I don't know what to say, but you guys can just give it to us below, because I don't want to really get too emotional or get too aggressive or try to rant about some stupid shit, So give it to us below, guys. Like the video, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Cheers, everyone.